Jesterhead here, and we're back with, I think it's part 5 of the Let's Build the Hazel-Rah. Obviously I got the Hrududu parts. I ripped them open, quickly put them together, just because I really wanted to see Hazel-Rah all put together. So this is essentially what the finished product is going to look like. Just a quick mock-up. Obviously hands and all the vents and every little detail isn't on there, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at what this project's actually going to look like when it's all finished. As you can see, the Hrududu parts are molded in all white, so if you're not a fan of painting your kits, you're gonna be stuck with that. So yeah, keep that in mind if you go ahead and order one. Obviously, with the Hrududu parts, it becomes really back heavy. So I'm looking into a couple different ways to fix that. So as you can see, I got it kind of propped up on a little can of paint here. So let's just see if I can bring this out a little bit and kind of show it off a bit without things falling apart. Yeah, getting a little wiggly here without any paint or anything. But it's starting to look pretty sharp. Starting to look pretty agile and pretty lethal, considering it started life out as a, what was it, GM Quell, I think. So yeah, just a quick look at a quick mock-up of what the finished product is kind of going to look like. So one more little enhancement I made to the base Hazel machine. In all the line art of Hazel, on some of the armor pieces like the shoulders, the skirts, and the back of the hands, there's this small thin red piping. They didn't think to include any details like that on a kit of this size, so I've gone ahead and just used some styrene little rods there, trimmed them up, used some tweezers, glued them in place, and I'll pick them out by hand red after I finish spraying and stuff like that. There's some on the skirt armor, but that's actually built into the Hazel right now. So use your imagination for those ones, but they look similar. So just a quick little embellishment to kind of up the level of detail on this kit. Now in the last little part of this video, I mentioned how back heavy the Hazel was. One trick I'm going to try to fix that is if you can see this little connector piece here that connects the backpack from the Hazel to the actual Hrududu. It's pretty long. It's about 2 centimeters long, and I don't see why it needs to be quite that long. So I'm going to trim about a centimeter, maybe 3/4 of a centimeter out of that. Shrink that up a little bit and get it a little bit closer to bring the whole thing a little bit closer to the Hazel itself. So it should even it out. And honestly, I don't really like how far it sits back. So yeah, just bringing it forward will help with stability, and aesthetically, in my opinion, I think will look a little bit better. So everywhere that's blocked out in black Sharpie there is going to be removed. So I'll go ahead and start cutting it apart. Alright, so a quick little mod I made to the Hrududu backpack part on Hazel. If you can see this little center connector piece right there, it was originally maybe a centimeter longer than that. I'm not sure why they made it that long, but they did, and that kind of made the whole Hrududu backpack sit really far back, made the whole figure back heavy. I didn't really like it aesthetically, so I chopped maybe a centimeter, maybe a little bit less of plastic out, filled in the sides, cleaned it up a little bit, so that brings the whole thing forward, gives it a little bit more of a bit more cohesive kind of unified look to it, and it also brings the wing binders and claw units kind of over the shoulders, makes it look a little bit more intimidating. So just a quick change, but subtle, but I think it makes a pretty nice difference. So here's the Hrududu backpack itself. This little guy is the piece I modded. As you can see, I've trimmed it up, cut it right there, split it down the middle, cleaned it up, glued them back together, filled it in with a little bit of plastic art. Looks a lot better and a little bit shorter, a little bit more compact. And also this, I guess this peg kind of rail system here, I've trimmed that down considerably. I think that's used for in the Hazel-Rah second form, so when you have 2 Hrududu units, and this goes on the front of the Hazel in the multi-weapon latch. I obviously don't have two Hrududus, so I'm probably not going to be using that, so I just trimmed it down. Just a quick little change. It makes everything look a little bit tighter, a little bit neater on the backpack part. So final piece that I'm working on now is this this wing binder piece that goes on the very back of the Hrududu. Now, if I flip it over, you can see all this gross open plastic area in there. Now I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do. I've already filled in the two open spots right there. I might do something similar like this with if I can do it with some pistons in there. I kind of like this mechanical look. Something similar like that, and I'll paint them up and pick out the details. Or I might just fill it completely over with smooth plastic card, sand it down, maybe put in some panel lines. So I'm gonna have to play with that and see what I end up liking a little bit better. So I'll keep messing with it and see what I come up with.